Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the Elks Lodge Annual History of Scouting Night. My name is Matthew Allen and I'm your Scoutmaster of Troop 561. I'll be your host this evening as I cover a bit of history of the Boy Scouts of America and what Scouting can offer your Scouts. The Boy Scout motto is, "Be prepared," which has been the goal since its founding in 1910. That goal has and always will be to train its 2.7 million youth in responsible citizenship, character development, and self-reliance through participation in a wide range of outdoor activities, educational programs, and at older age levels, career-oriented programs in partnership with community organizations. For younger members, the patrol method is part of a program to introduce typical scouting values, such as trustworthiness, good citizenship, and outdoor skills through a variety of activities such as camping, aquatics, and hiking taught by senior youth scouts under the watchful eye of more than 1 million adult leaders. The progressive movement in the United States was at its height during the early 20th century. With the migration of families from farms to cities, there were concerns among some people that young men were no longer learning patriotism and individualism. As we celebrate the anniversary of Scouting this week, we must remember our founding fathers that played an important role in delivering the Scouting movement to the United States. The BSA has two notable predecessors in the United States. The Woodcraft Indians, started by Ernest Thompson Seton in 1902, and the Sons of Daniel Boone, founded by Daniel Carter Beard in 1905 in Cincinnati, Ohio. In 1907, British General Robert Baden-Powell founded the Scouting movement in England using elements of Seton's works, among other influences. Just as these men were instrumental in bringing the Scouting movement here to the U.S., Scoutmasters such as me are responsible for developing and delivering the program or the training of youth leadership in how to plan and run a Scout troop's activities. The current mission statement of the BSA is the greatest example of its contribution to today's youth. The mission is, and I quote, "to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and law." The Scout Oath is a promise which states, and I quote, "On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight." The Scout law is a list of moral arrows that every Scout does his best to follow. And the law states, and I quote, "A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent." Certainly you can see that not only are these impact statements helpful to the youth of our community, but also strong points for all people to follow. Just imagine how our community would change, and for the better I could add, if everyone strives to live by these values. Here's a brief list of interesting facts that many boys, just like your Scouts, and many of our adult leaders, such as your husbands and wives, all contribute towards. In 2012, service projects were conducted by more than 2.7 million youth members and more than 1 million volunteers. Nearly 1.1 million youth attended a council camp or National High Adventure Camp. In 2012, the centennial year of the Eagle Scout Award, close to 58,000 Scouts earned the Eagle Scout rank, more than any in previous years. 2.1 million merit badges were earned by Boy Scouts in 2012. And finally, 1.06 million volunteers provided leadership for Scouting programs in 2012. Finally, here's a bit of history and a fine example of how and why the Scouting movement exists in our country as I close out my introduction this evening. In 1909, Chicago publisher William D. Boyce was visiting London where he encountered a boy who came to be known as the Unknown Scout. Boyce was lost on a foggy street when an unknown scout came to his aid, guiding him to his destination. The boy then refused Boyce's tip, explaining that he was a Boy Scout and was merely doing his daily good turn. Interested in the Scouting program, Boyce met with General Baden-Powell, who was Chief Scout at the time in England, and upon his return to the U.S., Boyce incorporated the Boy Scouts of America on February 8, 1910. The value of the BSA has shown ever brightly over the last 100 plus years. Thank you.